Ladies and gentlemen, some women walk into a room, and it's as if the air shifts, heads turn, not because of what she's wearing or the way she looks, but because she carries an energy you can't buy, fake, or borrow. It's in her walk, her eyes, her silence. She doesn't chase attention. It finds her. She doesn't beg for respect. It's given without question. And if you've ever wondered what makes her different, it's not luck, it's habits. Habits that shape her into a woman who cannot be ignored, underestimated, or replaced. Tonight, I'm going to share the 7 that every high-value woman lives by. If you're ready to stop blending in and start standing out, let me tell you something. In this world, there are people who will try to tell you what you're worth. They'll look at you and place a number on your value based on how you look, how much you make, who you know, what you drive, where you live. And if you're not careful, you'll start to believe them. You'll start to measure yourself by their broken yardsticks, chasing their approval, begging for their validation, trying to mold yourself into the shape they think you should be. But a high-value woman, she doesn't play that game. She knows her worth, and it's not up for negotiation. When you know your worth, you stop auditioning for roles you were born to own. You stop handing out discounts on your respect, your love, your time. People will test you. Oh, they'll push your boundaries, see how far they can go, how much they can take. And if you let them, they'll take it all. But a woman of worth has a line you can't cross. She's not arrogant, she's not cold, she's clear. Clear about what she stands for, what she'll accept, and what she will never ever tolerate. Now, don't get it twisted. Knowing your worth isn't about thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about refusing to be treated as less than you are. It's about holding your head high in rooms where others might try to shrink you. It's about walking away from situations that insult your soul, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when your heart wants to stay. Because here's the truth. If you have to beg someone to see your value, you've already given them the power to decide it. And that is power you never hand over. There will be moments when life tries to convince you to settle. Settle for less than you deserve. Settle for the bare minimum. Settle because it's better than nothing. But nothing is better than something that breaks you. Nothing is better than being surrounded by people who don't see you. And nothing is better than giving away your peace for the sake of keeping someone else comfortable. A high-value woman understands that peace is expensive, and she refuses to sell it cheap. You see, the world rewards clarity. People may not always like you for it, but they will respect you for it. And respect lasts longer than popularity. When you set a standard for how you should be treated, you teach people how to approach you. And if they can't meet that standard, they'll either step up or step away, and both outcomes are victories. Because when the wrong people leave, they make room for the right ones to arrive. But here's the catch. You can't demand from the world what you won't give yourself. If you want others to value you, you've got to live like you're valuable. That means you stop putting yourself last on your own list. You stop pouring into everyone else until you're empty. You take care of your body, your mind, your spirit, not because you're selfish, but because you know you're the foundation of your own life. And if the foundation is cracked, everything built on it will crumble. Now, that's habit 1. Self-worth is non-negotiable. But self-worth without discipline, that's like having a map and never taking the journey. Which brings me to something most people don't want to hear. Discipline over distraction. Let me tell you a fact. We live in the noisiest time in history. Everyone's talking, everyone's posting, everyone's trying to tell you how to live, what to want, who to be. Distractions are everywhere, and most of them look good. They sparkle. They entertain you. They make you feel like you're doing something when you're actually doing nothing. And if you're not careful, they will eat up your days, your months, your years, until one day you look up and realize you've been busy but not effective. A high-value woman knows the difference. She's not out here letting trends dictate her moves. She's not getting caught up in gossip, scrolling endlessly, watching other people live their lives while hers passes by. She wakes up with a plan. She knows where she's going, and every choice she makes is either moving her closer to it or pulling her further away. And if it's pulling her away, she cuts it. No hesitation, no guilt. Because discipline means you're willing to give up what you want now for what you want most. Now, discipline doesn't mean your life is all work and no joy. It means your joy comes from things that matter. It means you don't waste your time on what won't matter 5 years from now. You're intentional. You're focused. And yes, it's hard because distractions are addictive. They're designed to pull you in. But every time you choose discipline, you're building a muscle. And over time, that muscle makes you unstoppable. Let me break it down. Every goal you have, every dream you hold, is connected to your ability to stay disciplined. You want a healthy body? Discipline. You want financial freedom? Discipline. You want a peaceful mind? Discipline. You can't get those things by wishing, hoping, or waiting for motivation to show up. You get them by deciding every single day that your vision is worth more than your impulses. The high-value woman is not immune to distraction. She's human. She gets tired. She gets tempted. She has moments where she'd rather choose easy over right. But she remembers something. Every time she gives in to distraction, she delays her destiny. And she's not willing to trade her future for a moment of comfort. And here's the secret. When you live with discipline, you create freedom. Freedom from chaos, from regret, from the weight of unfinished goals. While others are running in circles, wondering why they're stuck, you're moving forward. While they're chasing the next trend, you're building something that lasts. And people will notice. They may not understand it, they may not even support it, but they'll see it. They'll feel it. And they'll know you're not like everyone else. Now understand this. Discipline is lonely sometimes. You'll miss out on things. You'll be misunderstood. People will say you've changed. And they're right. You have. You've stopped living for their approval and started living for your own standards. And when you choose that path, the rewards may not come overnight, but they will come. They always do. When self-worth is your foundation and discipline is your structure, you're unshakable. Because now, every decision is rooted in respect for yourself and a vision for your future. And once you have those two habits locked in, the rest of the world starts to shift. Opportunities find you. The wrong people lose interest. And the life you've been chasing starts to chase you back. When you know your worth and you've built the discipline to protect it, the next step is something many overlook. Who you allow in your circle. Because it doesn't matter how strong you think you are. The people closest to you shape your energy, your mindset, your habits, and your future. If you surround yourself with people who drain you, doubt you, or distract you, they will eventually dilute you. And when you're diluted, your power fades. A high-value woman understands this. She is not lonely, she is selective. There's a big difference. She doesn't collect people just to say she has people. She doesn't keep toxic relationships for the sake of avoiding discomfort. She knows that sometimes you have to subtract to multiply. Now, this part can be tough, because it's not always strangers who hold you back. Sometimes it's family. Sometimes it's old friends you've known for years. Sometimes it's a partner you care for deeply, but who can't or won't grow with you. And the truth is, if you're trying to level up your life, you can't take everyone with you. Not because you don't love them, but because they don't love your vision enough to respect it. You can't be in the business of convincing people to treat you right, to support you, to see your value. That's not your job. Your job is to live in such a way that those who belong in your life rise to meet your standard, and those who don't quietly fade away. And yes, it hurts sometimes, but pain is often the price of peace. See, the high-value woman knows her inner circle is her inner shield. She chooses people who pour into her as much as she pours into them. People who challenge her thinking, celebrate her wins, and tell her the truth when she's slipping. People who don't compete with her, but complete the environment she's building. Now here's a fact. You can have all the talent in the world, all the drive in your heart, but if you spend your days with people who think small, talk small, dream small, you will eventually shrink to fit the space they give you. Energy is contagious. Mindset is contagious. You can't sit in negativity every day and expect positivity to dominate your life. That's not how it works. And don't think for a second that being selective means you're cold or unkind. It means you've learned that love without boundaries is self-destruction. It means you've realized that you can't pour into others if you're constantly being drained. And it means you've decided to protect your peace as fiercely as you protect your dreams. Once you've chosen who you allow in your space, there's another layer that takes you to the next level: mastering emotional control. Because life will test you. People will try you, and your emotions, they will tempt you to throw everything you've built away in one reckless moment. Let's be honest. In this world, we are trained to react. Someone insults you, you snap back. Someone disrespects you, you go off. Someone crosses you, you burn the bridge and the land around it. That's what's expected. That's what's normal. But here's the thing. When you react, you're not in control. You've handed the keys to someone else and let them drive you wherever they want you to go. A high-value woman doesn't give anyone that kind of power. She understands that self-control is a weapon. Not every battle is worth fighting, and not every comment is worth responding to. She knows that sometimes silence speaks louder than words, and composure cuts deeper than any insult ever could. This doesn't mean she ignores disrespect. No, she addresses it, but she does it in a way that leaves her dignity intact. She doesn't lower herself to meet someone in the mud. She makes them climb if they want to reach her. And most of the time, they won't. That's how you win without losing yourself. Now, this isn't easy. Emotional control doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you don't let what you feel dictate how you move. It means you pause before you respond. You think before you act. You measure the cost of every reaction and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Is this worth my energy? Is this worth my time? The truth is, the world is full of people who are quick to anger, quick to gossip, quick to get offended. But those same people are also quick to lose focus, quick to burn out, quick to destroy the bridges they need. That's not the life you want. You want to be steady, calm under pressure, unshaken in chaos. Because when others are falling apart, the one who can keep their head becomes the one others turn to. A high-value woman doesn't let the storm outside create a storm inside. She's not driven by temporary emotions. She's guided by long-term vision. She understands that some reactions might win the moment but lose the war. And she's not here to win moments. She's here to build a legacy. Now, here's something people don't talk about. Emotional control will save you from making permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. It will save you from saying words you can't take back, from making choices you'll regret, from burning opportunities you didn't even know were coming. And that is a skill worth mastering. But emotional control doesn't just protect you from others. It protects you from yourself. We all have days where fear tries to take the wheel, where doubt whispers that we're not good enough, where insecurity makes us want to lash out or shut down. But when you can master your emotions, you can keep moving even when you're scared, keep showing up even when you feel unworthy, keep leading even when the weight feels too heavy. And that is how you stand out in a world that's always looking for someone to break. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need more people who can react. It needs more people who can respond with wisdom, with intention, with strength. And that's exactly what a high-value woman brings to the table. She doesn't just walk into a room and command attention because of her presence. She commands respect because of her restraint. People may not always remember what you said, but they will remember how you carried yourself when everything around you was falling apart. And when you combine the power of being selective with the mastery of emotional control, you become unshakable. You stop living on the defensive, constantly protecting yourself from the world, and start living on the offensive, shaping the world around you. You're no longer reacting to life, you're creating it. When you've built your worth, protected it with discipline, chosen your circle with precision, and mastered control over your emotions. There's another truth you can't run from. Growth is not optional. It's not something you do when you have time, when the mood strikes, or when life is easy. Growth is the oxygen of a high-value life, and the moment you stop breathing it in, you start to suffocate. See, too many people think the finish line is a title, a paycheck, a relationship, or some visible badge of success. But here's the reality. The finish line keeps moving. Every time you get better, the game changes. And a high-value woman knows she's never done learning, never done evolving, never done stretching beyond who she was yesterday. That's why she reads when others scroll. She asks questions when others assume they know. She studies when others think they've already arrived. She invests in her mind, in her skills, in her spirit, because she understands something that most people ignore. The world doesn't reward the outdated version of you. It rewards the version of you that adapts, upgrades, and refuses to stay stuck. Now, here's the part most people don't like to admit. Growth is uncomfortable. It's messy. It will make you face parts of yourself you'd rather avoid. It will require you to unlearn things you thought were true, to admit that you were wrong, to let go of beliefs and habits you've carried for years. But that's the cost. And if you're not willing to pay it, you're not really serious about changing your life. A high-value woman embraces that discomfort because she knows it's the proof that she's evolving. She's not afraid to be a beginner again, to step into rooms where she's not the smartest person there, to take on challenges that scare her. She knows that comfort zones are beautiful places, but nothing grows there, and she refuses to let her potential rot in the soil of safety. She also understands that growth is not just personal. It's relational, it's financial, it's spiritual. She's intentional about improving every area of her life, not to impress anyone, but to honor the gift of her existence. She wants to be better, not just do better. She wants her life to be the kind of story that inspires others to write their own. And growth isn't always visible. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's you handling something with grace that would have broken you last year. Sometimes it's you setting a boundary without shaking. Sometimes it's you believing in yourself without needing anyone else to co-sign it. That's growth too. And it matters. But growth without direction, that's just motion. Which is why the next piece is critical, living with purpose. Because you can grow in 100 directions, but if none of them are aligned, you'll stretch yourself thin and never truly arrive anywhere worth being. A high-value woman doesn't just exist. She lives intentionally. She wakes up knowing where she's headed and why. Her choices, her habits, her relationships, her investments, they all line up with the vision she has for her life. She doesn't drift. She doesn't move without meaning. And because of that, she's dangerous in the best way possible. Purpose gives her focus when life tries to distract her. Purpose gives her strength when obstacles try to break her. Purpose gives her patience when results are slow. And purpose makes her unshakable when the opinions of others try to steer her off course. But here's the thing. Purpose is not found in a single moment of inspiration. It's discovered in the process of living with intention. It's built through trial and error, through paying attention to what lights your soul on fire and what leaves you empty. It's shaped by your values, your experiences, your passions, and your pain. And once you have it, you protect it with everything you've got. Because the moment you stop living on purpose, life will pull you into someone else's plan, and their plan will never be designed for your greatness. A woman with purpose is magnetic. She doesn't have to chase. Opportunities come to her because she's aligned with something bigger than herself. People can sense it. They may not be able to explain it, but they feel it. They know she's moving with intention, and that makes her presence powerful. Purpose also makes decision-making easier. When you know where you're going, you know what doesn't belong. You don't waste time on relationships, jobs, or opportunities that don't serve your vision. You don't say yes out of fear or no out of insecurity. You say what aligns, and that alignment becomes your protection. Now, living with purpose doesn't mean life will be easy. It means you'll have a reason to keep going when it's hard. It means you'll keep pushing when you're tired, keep believing when you're doubted, keep building when others have given up. Because you're not just working for a moment, you're working for a mission. And here's the truth. People will try to distract you from it. They'll tell you to slow down, to settle, to be realistic. But a high-value woman knows that realistic is just another word for limited. She doesn't let fear disguised as advice steer her off her path. She listens, she evaluates, but she stays true to the voice inside that says, "This is what I was made for." And when you combine growth with purpose, you become unstoppable. You're not just better for the sake of being better. You're better for the sake of building something that matters. You're not just busy. You're effective. You're not just surviving. You're leading. That's the difference. That's why some people wonder how certain women keep winning, keep rising, keep shining no matter what's thrown at them. It's because every step they take is guided by two truths. They refuse to stay the same, and they refuse to walk without direction.